This is Eeshani again with IvyProSchool's YouTube channel. Like we discussed about combo charts last time in Power BI, this time we're going to talk about scatter charts. Now, what are scatter charts? Why do we need it? And then we'll go ahead and try to create them. So typically scatter charts are used when you want to find a relationship between two variables. A very simple example from the data set that we have over here. I've got a field called sales. I have a field called profit. Now, I want to find out, does increasing the sale also mean there is an increase in profit? And sometimes what happens, the discounts are very high. So I might see a very big rise in the sales, but the profitability might be less. So I want to see that for the various subcategories that are there in this data set, when the sales is increasing, does it also reflect that the profit is increasing? So for such purpose, I have already plotted a scatter plot over here. So on the x-axis, you can see there's sales. On the y-axis, you can see there is profit. And these dots are given for each and every subcategory. So if I hover on top of it, this is showing the dot for the chair, which is showing us the total sales and total profit. So based on where it is falling in the sales and where it is falling on the profit column or the profit axis, it creates a position of a dot. So you can see that they are various subcategories. Pretty much all of them are falling on top of this trend line or near the trend line, except for this subcategory, which is tables. So this is one more information that a scatter plot provides us. It helps us to get to know the outliers in our data. So tables behavior, the subcategory of table behavior is a little different. As the sales is increasing, the profit is not as much, it's not increasing as much it should have or as much it is for the other subcategories. Now let's start with the creation of it. So where are the scatter plots? It's kept in the third column, third row. When we create a scatter plot, what you have to remember is, since we are trying to find relationship between two variables, in the x-axis as well as y-axis, we need to put number field. So in the x-axis, in the example that you saw, I had put sales. So I'll pick sales, put it in the x-axis. And I wanted to find its relationship with profit. So the profit will go in the y-axis. Now you will see nothing is there except for one single dot, whereas I had a lot of dots in my chart. So how did it come? So if you see, x-axis, y-axis is given, and then comes the legends. So I am going to go ahead and pick up the subcategories and put in the legend. So for each subcategory, it has calculated a total sales and a total profit, and based on that, created a dot on my chart. Now, this looks nice, but what am I looking for? How do I understand the output of the scatter plot? Remember what we were trying to say? We were trying to find out the correlation between the variables. So these dots in itself do not give me any kind of correlation. If I want correlation, I also need one more thing in my plot, that is a trend line. And what is a trend line? It's basically a line that you will see passes through the maximum density. Now, if the trend line is upwards, then it means it's a positive correlation. If it is down sloping, then it means it's a negative correlation. And if it's a flat, it means there is no correlation between the two variables. So now let's see how we will create this trend line. So over here, we had the build visual from where we can pick all the charts, different type of charts. The second icon is for the formatting, and the third icon in Power BI and the visualization is for analytics. So under this, you will see there is trend line and it is off. As soon as I turn it on, this is the trend line that has been created. Now, looking at the trend line, what is the conclusion? Conclusion is that yes, as the sales is increasing, our profit is also increasing. So there's a positive correlation between the sales and profit. So this is the one of the utility that we use the scatter plot for. So I hope you enjoyed the video. You found it beneficial. Now the idea about scatter plot is clear. I'll see you again with more videos in Power BI. Thank you.